Welcome to YouTube Idol's final stage and the first theme. Enjoy!
Is that squire on the fire?
Masinosa, look closer, you'll notice it's grosser.
Looks thicker, more like vicar.
No, it has to be grosser, it's green.
The history of the world, my love,
Save a lot of graves to a lot of relatives' favor.
is those below serving those up above.
Everybody shaves, so there should be plenty of flavor.
How gratifying for once to know that those above will serve those down below. What is that?
It's Bob, finest in the shop. Warriors and shepherds pie peppered with actual shepherd on top. And I've just begun. Is a politician so oily? It's served with a doily. I won.
Put it on a bun. Well, you never know if it's going to run.
Troy the Fryer, Freud destroyer.
No clergy is really too coarse and too mealy.
Then actor, it's compactor.
But always arrives overdone. I'll come again when you have judge on the menu. Have charity towards the world, my pet.
Yes, yes, I know, my love.
We'll take the customers that we can get.
High born and low, my love.
We'll not discriminate great from small. No, we'll serve anyone, meaning anyone, and to anyone at all.
I found this duet to be poorly balanced and awkward to listen to. The characterization was really lost. As for Drew, your singing was very broken and uneven this round, which surprised me because your previous entries have been very smoothly connected, bouncing from phrase to phrase very easily. It makes me wonder if the song was just difficult for you, because you also had some issues with tuning, especially on those sustained notes, which also surprised me because it hasn't been a problem before for you. And for Casey, you sang very sweetly, which was very nice to listen to, but your tone was thin and unsupported. Additionally, your enunciation was completely lost. I couldn't understand at least half of the lyrics. So make sure to really pronounce those consonants, if not over-pronounce them, and you'll find that a lot of color will instantly be added to anything you sing as long as you do that.
Immediately I noticed that there are some timing errors between the two of you singing. Although this could be a simple problem of mixing, it still takes away from the performance to have pauses between the two singers constantly. It breaks the flow of the song. Casey, you should always remember to not let an accent get rid of enunciation, and this problem has shown in previous works. Enunciation is very important during singing, or else both words and notes can be lost. And oftentimes, when you sing a bit too soft or too thin without proper air support, notes can be lost almost altogether. Your notes overall are pleasing to an extent to listen to, but you need to try and take in more air in the future. This will benefit you. This song didn't seem to suit Drew at all. Drew, you sound a little too much as if you're pushing. You went too much for an acting route. Although I am very aware this is from the musical Sweeney Todd, which I'm familiar with myself. You didn't sing far enough. And when you did sing, it didn't sound like you were confident enough or that you had proper ear support. You were a little off at parts as well. For the future, maybe aim to work along with songs that are more within your comfort range, that you think you can truly rock. Even though this was a duet, maybe voicing better options or more options to your partner could have benefited you both. This last advice goes for Casey as well.
Casey and Drew, I like that you tried a different genre, it was ambitious of you. I also like those harmonies at the end there and that you incorporated acting into this. Aside from that though, I don't have anything positive to say about this. The genre of musical is often very difficult to sing, because many pieces are pretty advanced. It requires a very stylistic precision when you sing, otherwise it is very easy to sing off pitch. And I'm afraid this is rather pitchy. It's almost like you're singing in a different key than the instrumental, and that's just a big no-no. This is is especially true in your case, Drew. And Casey, you were struggling with the low notes. You weren't quite hitting them. I also want to help you out with singing high notes properly, so I'm linking to a lesson about high singing in the description. Generally, I would advise contestants to not sing musical songs in this contest unless you're experienced in the genre. Not just because I usually don't like the genre, but because it can be very hard for beginners to succeed. I do love both of your voices, but I think none of them came true at their best in this entry. You bit off more than you could chew, and I'm afraid this could be the end of your journey in this competition.
My house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beautiful Castillo, I'd leave it all.
My acres of a land I have achieved, it may be hard for you to
Stop and believe for you, I'd leave it all. Oh, for you, I'd leave it all.
Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you hold me, then all of this will go away. My friends and family, they don't understand. They think they lose so much, yeah.
You take my hand, but for you, I'd leave it all.
All for you,
I'd leave it all. Give me one good reason why I should never make a change. Baby, if you hold me, then all of this will go away.
my house in Budapest, my hidden treasure chest, golden grand piano, my beautiful Castillo, I'd leave it all. Oh, for you, I'd leave it all.
Good job, guys! You managed to make a duet that I really enjoyed. There are some minor problems, for example the inequality between your voices. I think mostly due to editing. You should have raised the volume on Pastel's vocals. You let Colton overshadow you a little, which is why I don't really have much to say about your singing. You were a good background singer, I guess. I didn't notice any prevalent problems on your part, so my advice to you will be for one of your previous entries. Try to avoid the drilling throat sound when you're singing runs. That's just improper singing and it does nothing for me. In other words, don't sing in staccato when doing runs, even though that's easier. Colton, I am a bit disappointed that you are not using your full potential. You have yet to surpass your first audition. I think you need to find a song where you can utilize that fantastic dynamic range of yours. You sound the best when you use your lower to middle register, where you can use your resonance at its best, by placing your voice more in the mask than in your throat. A lesson about mask resonance is linked in the description. And when you're belting, you sound like a rock star. Why aren't you using that more? I want to be impressed with you again, but you haven't really impressed me that much since your audition. And you were actually almost eliminated last round because you were yelling in your upper range and cutting notes short. And that really shocked me because I can honestly say that in my opinion, among all 100 people who's ever auditioned for the show, you had the best audition. But this competition is not about having a great voice, it's about what you do with it throughout this competition. So I just hope you won't continue on this downhill path because I would just hate to see you be eliminated early. Because you have so much potential and could go really far, both in this contest and in real life if you're lucky. I don't mean that you have to belt in every episode, but it's been long since you really tried and I think you are choosing too easy songs for your voice.
It wasn't just the editing that made this duet unbalanced, and that was definitely the strongest, most prevalent problem with this duet. You both have lovely voices, and they go together pretty well. However, the style would lapse between you occasionally. So you would see that PastelBoba, you were singing very sweetly at times, very sweetly. And you have this great modern voice and you have great resonance. But then when Colton was singing underneath you, or as I should say, above you, really. He was singing in a heavier sort of style than you were. And then, especially when your tuning wouldn't exactly line up, it was just really obvious that it was unbalanced. Furthermore, the melody was lost several times throughout this duet, and that was disappointing because had that been more balanced, it could have been really nice. This duet definitely had the most part independence of all the ones that were submitted, which I appreciated. However, the parts weren't equal throughout.
You have a very nice balance with one another. The harmonies in this duet are very nice to listen to whenever they came up, and you didn't seem to be singing over each other. Instead, you sang with one another pleasantly. Colton, those ooh bits you sang in the background were a bit off. It seemed like they were almost out of your range, though this could also be due to lack of support for the note. It made it a little cringy at times to listen to. Maybe going higher or lower, or even finding a middle ground for this note could have benefited you. But overall, you did a very great job. Pastel, you have a very soft voice, which worked kindly with Colton's. You hold your notes very well and seem confident singing this song. Great job.
You know I'm not one to break promises, and I don't wanna hurt you, but I need to breathe. And at the end of it all, you're still my best friend. But there's something inside that I need to release. Which way is right? Which way is wrong? And how to say that I need to move on? You know we're headed separate ways, and it feels like I am just too close to love you. There's nothing that I can't really say. I can lie no more, I cannot no more. Got to be true to myself, and it feels like I am just too close to love you. So I'll be on my way. And it feels like I am just too close to love you. There's nothing I can really say. I can't lie no more, I can't hide no more. Got to be true to myself, and it feels like I am just too close to love you. So I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way.
Can I just say wow to you both for a second? I applaud your performance as a whole, as I truly did enjoy listening to this. You both picked a song that suits your singing styles and made a fantastic collaboration. You truly recognized and worked with the strengths of one another, which is a very important thing to do and achieve when collabing with someone. You both blend very well and supported your notes. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but that vibrato at the beginning of the song was also fantastic. All in all, I wish I could have heard the two of you sing together a bit more instead of going back and forth so much. I think that would have made the entry that much more enjoyable. But great job.
Wow, what a cool voice you have, DoctorBlu. To be honest, I thought Josh would slay you in this, but comparing the both of you, I think your voices are neck and neck in this performance. Maybe you're slightly better than Josh here because of the thickness of your voice, which gives the song an extra spice. You have a much better voice than I thought you had, and I honestly didn't expect you to go this far after your initial audition, which shows just how important it is to make the right song choices for your voice. You are becoming a real threat in this contest. Just outstanding singing. Josh, you have yet to make a bad entry. I can tell you have been singing for a while. You have passed the amateur stage in your singing progress, which means now you can just focus on having fun. And it shows that you are having fun, which makes the listeners having fun listening to you. You have already shown more versatility than I would expect you to show during the solo competition, because you kind of have a different voice in all of your submissions. And it sure pays off being a voice actor and a singer at the same time, because your emotion in your performances is just spot on. Now, something I'm still missing from you is something emotional, something touching, something that will make me go, wow, that's beautiful. If you manage to do that, and if you continue to do this good, I think you're going to be hard to stop in this competition. Awesome job, both of you. There were some minor tempo problems, which is something really hard to fix when working together online. But I still thoroughly enjoyed this, and needless to say, I think this is the best performance in this episode. Congratulations.
This one was really nice to listen to, actually. The song worked very well for you both, and I just really enjoyed it. You sing in fairly similar styles, so I can give you similar advice. For one, I would say be careful, make sure your tone is lengthened, open up your mouth, raise your soft palate, all those good things. And occasionally I would hear your vowels go a little bit wide, so just bring the corners of your mouth in a little bit. Additionally, I would try to really swell the phrases, push them somewhere, make sure they don't just lie there stagnant. And that'll really add something, it'll add some color and some energy and characterization, and it'll just be really nice. But otherwise, very nice entry, guys.
This war without weapons, and I wanted it bad, but there were so many red flags. Now another one bites the dust. Yeah, let's be clear, I trust no one. You did not break me, no. I'm still fighting for peace. But your blade might be too sharp. I'm like a rubber band until you pull too hard. Yeah, I'm a snap and I'm fast. You won't see me fall apart. No, 'cause I've got an elastic heart. I've got an elastic heart. Yeah, I've got an elastic heart. And I will stay up through the night. And let's be clear, won't close my eyes. And I know that I can't survive. I'll walk through fire to save my life. And I want my life so bad. I'm doing everything I can. Then another one bites the dust. It's hard to lose a chosen one. You did not break me, no. I'm still fighting for peace. Oh.
Hi, Katelyn. I can see how this theme might have been a little bit difficult for you, but I think you still handled it very well. Just be careful not to shout sing. When you get to those higher ranges and more demanding dynamics, you tend to shout at me a little bit, which isn't very fun to listen to. In general, I think you sing in a very forced, strained kind of way, so it's okay to loosen up, relax your face, relax your voice, your throat, and keep everything very open and long, and you'll find that your tone will mature a bit when you do that as well. Furthermore, be sure to pronounce your consonants. I'm very picky about my consonants. There were times that it sounded more like elastic hard as opposed to elastic heart. So just be careful. Go ahead and loosen up, because if you keep pushing your voice like you are, you keep straining, Not only are you not going to sound as good as you could, but you're going to hurt your voice in the long run.
I'm going to start off by saying pushing hard and singing loudly does not equal something pleasant, especially in regards to high notes. It is definitely a natural reaction to push and sing louder when singing higher, since these notes resonate more, but try to avoid this type of habit in the future. You don't have to push. Maybe try practicing putting your voice into your nose for those particularly high notes that you may not be completely comfortable reaching with your current range. You can always tell if your voice is in your nose if you feel vibrations around the front of your face. This could help so that you don't get too loud too quick. Make sure to not lose the ends of your words, especially for style. You immediately lose lyrics like hard, elastic, heart, and so on. Always hit hard T's and D's and other consonants, because if not, this can cause misinterpretation and make a song sound odd. I really like the higher notes that you sang with yourself during the chorus to make for a duet. I just wish they were a bit louder so it would actually sound like a duet and less like accompaniment. Embrace your range. I do think this song was a little out of your reach, but I still think you handled it well in the end overall.
Katelyn, something I really like about you is that you listen to feedback. I asked power from you and you gave us power. But I didn't mean you have to scream in every episode to prove that you have a strong voice. We get it now. It's okay, you don't have to push as hard in every entry. Especially since I think the whole dynamic range is equally as important, not just the belting. In other words, it's just as important to show the soft and beautiful side of your voice, and that you really need to work on. I'm not the only judge who's getting tired of your constant belting, so be warned. You and the winner of last season are each other's opposites. She was singing softly all of the time, and you are pushing all of the time. I think it was beautiful when you transitioned between your chest voice and head voice near 1.5 minutes into this performance. I want to hear more of that. Had you used your head voice more at the higher notes instead of pushing, this would have been more beautiful. I know you had the voice for it. Also, this is not as appropriate for the theme as I had hoped it would be. Of course, it's not entirely your fault since Jamie dropped out when there was 1 day left, but you could have added more harmonies or even edited your background voices to make it sound more like a duet. But the most prevalent problem of this duet is your poor enunciation, which I'm sure the other judges have already talked about. I'm also going to link to a lesson about belting in the description, as one of the judges called it improper belting. Maybe this will benefit you if you decide to utilize your stronger range again.
Thanks for watching. See you soon with the result.
And that you incorporated acting into this. In other words, it's just as important to show